Oh, hello. Welcome to another today's Decay, celebrating births and beginnings of everything important since the dawn of time. February 10th edition. Today. All day. Yeah, we're going to celebrate all the dates that really rain. 1858 today, Walt McDougall was born, who was an illustrator who did all these wonderful illustrations for a book called, was it Good Children? That's not right. What was it? Good Stories for Children. Good Stories for Children. From, I think it was a series printed in a newspaper, maybe, because it's from 1902 to 1905. And it's all these really wonderful monsters and children that I'm not sure if it's ever been reproduced. I just found it online and I loved it. I'd love to find a collection of it somewhere, or like, was this based off of a story? I really don't know, but I'd like to find out more. Good Stories for Children by Walt McDougall. Here's another good story, sad and difficult as it is. Abel Miropole was born today in 1903, who was a Jew living in the Bronx who was I think a high school teacher, and he was very moved by newspaper reports of lynchings occurring in the South, to the degree that he wrote some prose, which he then turned into a song, which then wound up becoming Strange Fruit, that then was given to Billie Holiday, and she performed it for countless people at a time when you absolutely did not openly discuss out-and-out racism and the murders happening throughout America at this time. Yeah, and he was a communist, but also this was at a time when it wasn't the communism necessarily that became the like us versus them scare just yet, but rather like a connection to like Jewish culture from the 1800s and coming from Russia, although communism wouldn't have been there then, but still you've got like cultures that connect, and also aspects of Russia were much more progressive as far as equality goes, which is what he's connecting with here, seeing what is going on between, with racial injustice happening in America. Fast forward a bit, and he winds up getting blacklisted as a member of the Communist Party and winds up having to leave his job. And he had 2 children that were stillborn, and his pen name were both of their first names. And then Juliet and Essel Rosenberg, is that right? The two, a couple that were executed in the electric chair for stealing atomic secrets and giving them to the Russians. He then wound up adopting their 2 children and like raising them, who then became big proponents of social justice and making the world a better place. So bittersweet and possibly difficult, but maybe some good came out of it. And what a beautiful and haunting song, created in the Bronx, of all places. Yeah. Lon Chaney Jr., born today, 1906. I am definitely a Lon Chaney Sr. fan. But Lon Chaney Jr. does produce some great work at times. Man-Made Monster is definitely one of my faves, which I feel like was a trial run to see if like he had the chops to step into his father's shoes for The Wolfman a year later. What else? Alligator Man is fun. like other people. Spider Baby, anyways. Also a fantastic one. These are all, of course, like later in life, but I mean, he did lots of great stuff. He's a much different actor and performer than his father, but you wouldn't want Lon Chaney Part 2 anyway. He does his own thing. Yeah. Who else? What else? Stephen Gemmell, born today, 1943. I grew up on his work because he's the artist that illustrated all the scary stories to tell in the dark, which a couple of years ago, my sister got me this collection of the first 3 scary stories to tell in the dark. All 3 of them. I remember just like poring over these when I was a kid. There were so many good ones that just like stick with you, you know? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So good. What else? The Uninvited premiered today, 1944, which is a phenomenal ghost story. Yeah. Ray Milland, right? I think. Am I wrong about that? It's been a long time. But it's certainly something I hold in very high regard that I haven't seen in a while that I probably should see maybe today on the day it premiered, 1944. It's right up there with The Uninvited. The Uninvited, I'm tired. Right up there with The Innocents, Burn Witch Burn, The Haunting, Curse of the Demon. It's all that like 40s, 50s, early 60s, like the height of like what's scary as far as what we can produce, in my humble opinion. Yeah. Travis Walton, born today, 1953, of the Fire in the Sky UFO incident fame. And on this day, 1971, Patti Smith performed with Lenny Kaye at the St. Mark's Church for the first time, which some people say this was the start of punk. On this day, in that church, with these 2 people. It's an impossible statement, but whatever. I still appreciate it, and to be a fly on the wall to see this happen. Yeah. And that's it. The whole day from us to you. Till tomorrow. Goodbye.